Honor has just presented MagicOS 9.0, the next version of its layer that runs on Android 15, and in this case it has been in China. So most of the new features will work for that region as they have decided to focus a lot on artificial intelligence. We will have to wait later to see how they are going to adapt these functions globally, because generally all these artificial intelligence models are trained in a specific language. So, globally, this is probably going to be delayed a little bit, but it's a good look at what Honor is preparing. Much of their news focused on their Yoyo agent, which globally hasn't had much popularity because it has been replaced by Google Assistant for many years. We do not know if with the arrival of the Magic 7 Pro will finally or not make the global appearance of Yoyo, or will continue to give priority to Google Gemini. But the truth of the matter is that in China, with Magic 9.0, Yoyo has gained tremendous capabilities so that you can simply ask it with voice commands to order food from a specific restaurant, and the cell phone will automatically know what application you use to order food and what are the usual options you select, so that you can simply with voice do all those actions without the need to be interacting with the screen. In the same way, you could order a cab or request any other type of action from the cell phone, but in this case, not only with tools from the cell phone itself, but it could be able to interact with other applications from third-party developers. With Yoyo, you could also fill out forms automatically just by telling it fill out this form, and once the device has learned your information, you can fill it out in these forms. In the same way, you could order a cab or request any other type of action from the cell phone, but in this case, not only with tools from the cell phone itself, but it could be able to interact with other applications from third-party developers. With Yoyo, you could also fill out forms automatically just by telling it fill out this form, and once the device has learned your information, you can fill it out in these forms. They are also debuting a feature similar to Circle to Search, but with the knuckle, so just enclose something you want to search for, and automatically that artificial intelligence will do the search for you so you can buy some product you've seen. This is a clear demonstration of how implementations can become different globally and in China, because globally or not, it's going to give priority to Google's Circle to Search, which has already gained a lot of popularity, while in China, it's clear that it's not going to collaborate with Google. So, as I tell you, this is a demonstration. Probably other features that I'll tell you about below that are available on MagicOS 9 globally will either change names or slightly change how they work. They also have a kind of dynamic island that will be able to show a little bit more information. For example, how the weather is going to be performing, office information, or printing information in general. Let's say they're going to take much more advantage of that space. There are also new animations throughout the system. For example, when trying to move an icon to a folder that is already full, there is a new animation. Also, the animations for loading the list of recent apps and swapping is new to give it a little more fluidity, and they have improved GPU TurboX to take better advantage of the Vulkan library that Android uses for everything that has to do with gaming, so that according to Honor figures, they would make rendering 40% faster and 11% less power consumption. This, in conjunction with a next-generation processor, could achieve spectacular things, because in this case we are talking about a system change, not a processor evolution. So if you combine it, it will be wonderful. Also, through artificial intelligence, the TurboX engine will be able to have parallel processing to achieve very high performance. In this case, for example, in a MOBA game, they achieved 119.9 frames per second while doing live streaming without any frame loss through artificial intelligence. Deepfakes detection is also integrated, which is when a person is trying to mount a face on top of it with artificial intelligence. So this Honor device would be able to alert you if in a video call someone is pretending to be someone else. So you could easily trigger the detection from the dynamic island. Then we'll find other more usual artificial intelligence features, such as the ability to transcribe and summarize notes, although we don't know if this is going to be simply cloud connected or will be processed within the device. That will be another important factor to take into account in the development that all the artificial intelligence tools from different manufacturers are having. For example, Apple is giving priority to most of the processes being done directly from the device without the need for internet connection, while the rest of the manufacturers give much more priority to doing it in the cloud because it is much simpler. Samsung is in a middle ground where some things, especially those that are language, work offline, and those that have to do with images and more complex things work in the cloud. So we'll have to wait to find out in more detail how the artificial intelligence features which Honor will introduce will work. It will also be able to summarize notes you've taken to give you important points. For example, when trying to read a document, you can even ask the assistant questions about the document so that you do not have to read this entire file and you can know its information quickly, and it is even able to generate concept maps and structure all the information that is available in those documents. They will also have a translator directly on the device and of course will integrate the magic eraser that we all already know. To delete objects with generative artificial intelligence, it could also open the eyes of someone who has closed them and expand the photos if you want to find a completely different framing. All this through generative artificial intelligence, and also has a generator of different portraits and styles as if it were watercolor or different categories that you can generate directly from the device. They have also improved the interaction with their watches, having suggestions in the health section and synchronizing in a better way the notifications between the cell phone and the watch. In China, it will also be much easier to send an application to the car screen directly to control it from there and open navigation things. But this, obviously globally, is completely out of the question because globally we only have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, while in China there are many more systems. It will also be able to easily connect to compatible TVs, which again will be dedicated only for China, and you can create some character like an avatar or something similar to be able to have on your lock screen or share it as a special status. In addition to that, you can have a great customization on the lock screen with different styles, and in general you will have different themes available. In China has already shared the process of the devices that will be receiving this update, so there are confirmed devices. From November of this year, we'll be receiving the update, the Honor Magic V 3 vs 3 V2 in all its editions, Magic 6 in all its editions, and Magic 5 in all its editions. In December, the update will come to other devices that are also considered high-end, but are no longer as modern as, for example, the Honor Magic vs 2. Also the Magic V Flip, plus the entire Magic 4 family along with Honor 200, including the Pro model and the base model and the Magic Pad 2 tablet. In January, the update will be arriving for Honor Magic vs in an upgraded edition. Also the Honor Magic Hub, plus the Honor 100 series and the Honor 90 GT. Finally, also the Honor GT Pro tablet will be receiving this update, and until February it will be arriving for Honor 90 Pro and Honor 90 and the entire Honor 80 series in March. This update would be arriving for the mid-range models of Honor, that would be Honor X60 Pro, X60 and X50. As you realize, in this list do not appear models that we know globally as the Magic 6 Lite or the X series, such as the X7V or X8V and similar models. Since in China, Honor handles a different nomenclature, and anyway, none of these appear there. Well, the X50, we could say that it is more or less equivalent to the Magic 6 Lite, but as I tell you, all this has been announced first for China, because in China, you know, they are ahead of the curve. Yeah.